The Mount Nittany Conservancy is located just a few miles away from Penn State University's campus, and hikers have been traveling to get a glimpse of its trails and views for years. The Conservancy is made up of 18 volunteers devoted to maintaining the trails and keeping the mountain itself in peak condition. On the mountain, there are 7 different outlooks and over 9 miles of paths divided into blue and white trails. The hiking trails on Mount Nittany have been around for 30 years, but new guided trails will begin this July. Vince Verbeck feels that Mount Nittany is a huge part of Penn State and the surrounding community.
If you ask people what are the symbols of Penn State University, I'm sure someone will say the Nittany Lion Shrine, but for the most part, at least 75% of the time they'll say Mount Nittany is a symbol of this university. And if you come into this valley and you look up at that mountain, you know you're home.
The new guided tours beginning this July will only serve to increase the mountain's popularity. However, since this is a new feature being added to the Conservancy, it may only be offered a few times a year. With these new guided tours, it will be easier for families and unfamiliar hikers to make the trek up the mountainside. The tours will be led by the Conservancy volunteers and will highlight different points and outlooks on the mountain. The mountain reaches a peak elevation of 2,077 feet from sea level and 1,050 feet from the valley floor. One of the most attractive views is the northwest overlook, which reaches the top elevation of 2,040 feet. But there are trails at lower elevations which lead to the Bollesburg Mount Nittany Middle School overlook and the Little Flat overlook. The new tours will guide hikers to each of these destinations. And Conservancy President John Hook explains the length of the excursions.
The loop itself, the inner loop, is, I believe, a little over 2 miles. But it's, the upgrade and downgrade once you're up to the top is not that great. So we feel like you could probably do that in about another 45 minutes to an hour.
The Conservancy is always looking for new volunteers and donations to help maintain the trails on the mountain. Reporting from Mount Nittany, I'm Burke Johnson.